All right, so tonight on the Lawyer Henderson podcast, we're going to be talking about Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe, his interview with Shannon Sharpe, I should say. And Katt Williams coming out slanging on people, man. Katt Williams coming out basically giving everybody the juice about what goes on in Hollywood. What goes on in Hollywood, Katt Williams had an explosive interview on Club Shay Shay. Okay. And that's what, everybody is talking about. That's what's been trending. Man, they got so many millions of views. And it's like, wow, it does not stop. It does not stop. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody basically still talking about it. And it's like, well, it's Hollywood. Everybody in Hollywood has been, they have been involved in a lot of scandals, sexual scandals, complaint, the Harvey Weinstein touching women, rape, and all that stuff. It all happens in Hollywood. The bad things happen in Hollywood. This is the industry where all the dirty little secrets is there, and like Willie D said, some of y'all out there done some things strange for some change out there. The interview was explosive. He has been telling everybody about Steve Harvey and how he had set up Bernie Mac for failure. Steve Harvey basically, Steve Harvey was like, didn't really respond for that, but Bernie Mac's daughter did, and she said, well, I appreciate, that Katt Williams spoke up for her dad, the late great Bernie Mac, because I did see that how Steve Harvey would have been jealous of Bernie Mac. And in one of those interviews, Bernie Mac did talk about, people stealing your jokes and stuff like that. So that kind of interview really, what the daughter said, she didn't say nothing bad about no comedian stuff. She just praised, as I heard her interview, she just praised Katt Williams for speaking up for her dad. So it really was it really was kind of like Katt Williams though was just going after everybody. He went out to he was just calling everybody's names. He went out there, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, and he said that Tyler Perry and what's his name? Ricky Smiley can't play male roles in Hollywood. In fact, what Ricky, the interview that Katt Williams did on Sharpe was so intense for Ricky Smiley that instead of Ricky Smiley's, dying over his son, passing, Ricky Smiley, after that interview, went on live and just start crying. Like, what in the hell? A grown man here crying or whatever. Okay. But it was kind of like crazy that Rick, that Katt Williams do this, but a lot of people were throwing shades at Katt Williams first, though. This is just not new. So Now, I really don't like the route. I really don't. But I'm going to basically uh, give credit to Chanel Janae for this article. It says Black Twitter, Black Hollywood reacts to jaw-dropping Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe. Okay, you know, she said here, and I quote, Black folks on every side of the internet has been reeling from the mirror of jings, jabs, and jokes and more thrown in Katt's nearly 3 hour long interview. Now I'll listen to the whole thing too myself. It was interesting. It really was. 24 hours since Katt Williams' explosive interview on Shannon Sharpe Club Shay Shay podcast set the social media street on fire on Wednesday. Reactions have been pouring in at monumental levels. Now, mind you, this article was January 4th, and this happened, 16 days ago. So I'm always the person who comment late on this. If you're somehow missed the hubbub, let me summarize it for you in 4 simple words. Katt Williams chose violence. No, not physical violence, of course, but verbal violence in the form of setting the record straight and throwing truth bombs and straight up shots over the course of nearly 3 hours towards nearly every Black comedian and a handful of Black entertainers in Hollywood. You see, that is kind of like, wow. That really, really basically, to start off the article like that, kind of interesting here. It goes on, she says, and I'm talking about the writer. I'm talking folks like Cedric the Entertainer, a.k.a. Warwas, Steve Harvey, a.k.a. Mr. Potato Head, Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley, Faizon Love, Michael Blackson, Ludacris, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Diddy, Jonathan Mayers, and more. Damn, let's look at that. I know that they said that Cedric Entertainment stole the joke from that was on Kings of Comedy. Okay, Steve Harvey, he couldn't play in the film according to Ricky Smiley because nobody wants to see a Black man, Mr. Potato Head. I forgot what he said about Kevin Hart. I'm pretty sure y'all know. Ricky Smiley, of course, he says they had to put on a dress that was in his contract. Ricky Smiley, like I said earlier, started crying. Faizon Love, actually, I saw an interview before Ricky Smiley. That Katt Williams did, later. But Faizon Love started it on Katt Williams first. I seen an interview where Faizon Love came out on Katt Williams. Michael Blackson, he also went off on Michael Blackson. Ludacris, he said Ludacris is a part of the Illuminati. Earthquake, he said can't read. Tyler Perry, he said that Tyler Perry can't play male roles. Diddy has slept allegedly with a lot of men in Hollywood. I didn't hear what he said about Jonathan Majors. I forgot. Jonathan Majors. And more. So the article goes on to talk about certain people that he was talking about down a line in this explosive interview here. The article goes on to say that he also managed to drop a mirror of quotables that I live rent-free in my mind for the next 3 decades. You see, you having the unnatural allegiance to losers is unlike you. It's the most delicious, pointed, backhanded, yet still somewhat complimentary word salad I've fested of a long time. And while a handful of comedians have already issued their responses back to the Friday After Next star, it appears too little too late as most folks online have chosen sides. Unfortunately, for them, they're siding with Katt. Not Katt Williams saying at least 7 comedians have a light-skinned, weird-faced wife who doesn't talk, bruh. What? He's letting the chopper spray, wrote one user. Now, if they're going to, like in Hollywood, you do see them with light-skinned girls. That's kind of like, you know, a thing that Hollywood does. If a black star is not with a white athlete, he is dating a light-skinned chick. You rarely see the dark-skinned chicks in the spotlight. And there's several reasons for that. There's really several reasons for it. I like to say that, Hollywood is a very, very interesting place. I should say Hollywood weird, because not too long ago when I visited Los Angeles back in, 2023, I think it was? Yeah. It was like, well, that was during the pandemic, but before that, it's really like, it's a trashy, nasty place, of course, everybody's there trying to, make it, and like I said, like, Willie D said, sometimes, when you go broke, a lot of people there do some strange things for some change, so, you do something strange for some change, because of the high cost of living there, So if you go to or if you try to get into Hollywood, of course, it's going to be that issue. You have people who move from Atlanta to Hollywood and stuff, or California, I should say, and they do struggle. They don't tell people hiding secrets, about what they had to do in order to, probably put food on the table while they're there, especially if you're single, And now times are getting where the rent is going up and all of that. That means that everything pretty soon is going to be looking like California. Because, like I said, not to go into this, because I'm going to deal with this another day, because they're trying to do a reset on the United States by bringing illegal immigrants. So now your rent is going to be twice, 3 or 4 times, where you barely going to be able to have just one person stand in a home. And even if you're by yourself, there's probably going to be a problem for you, because these landlords, they don't want to work themselves. So when they purchase a house, like any other person, they're going to, to position themselves as to try to fill those houses. And this is their way of not wanting to work and stuff. So relying upon rent payments and stuff. But anyway, Katt Williams was basically, I guess, that since he hasn't had a film deal in a while, he did go on a comedy tour or whatever. But Katt, really, to be honest, wants another movie deal. He does. He wants another film deal. He basically just want to get back in Hollywood. In fact, he said that Ice Cube is helping him, allow him to write something as far as Friday is concerned. And also Ice Cube basically had responded about the rape allegations of what happened on the Friday set. He said that didn't happen. So yeah, but let's talk about this. The article write, I don't even know why they be messing with Katt Williams. He don't start nothing, but he always finishes, said another. And this was just people on Twitter, or formerly, on X, which is formerly Twitter, I should say, where they were talking about this issue here. That everybody in Hollywood be sleeping with each other, it's just be like, dang. You try to get a movie role, yeah, Harvey Weinstein and them white folks ain't the only one. This happened in Black Hollywood too now. Yeah. It goes on to write, though, that Shannon Sharpe just said hello, and Katt Williams was like, I'll begin with the list of everyone who I think is untalented in alphabetical order. After we finish up with that, I'm going to tell you about all the people who stole from me, wrote one user. Now, Katt Williams is somehow both a prolific truther and a prolific liar, and that is why his talent for compelling stories is unimaginable. Now, this is coming from one of the Twitter writers. No one has perfected. I'm sorry, this is coming from the lady who wrote the article. No one has perfected the skills of espousing complete and utter shenanigans while telling the bare naked ass truth like he has. Literally one of one, another user said. Now, 5 minutes into this Katt Williams interview, and this already might be one of the greatest interviews of all time, wrote another. Now, none of these are just, messages that she's basically getting for Twitter. Okay. It goes on to say, some of the comedians who thankfully didn't catch a stray also stood up for the first Sunday star, writing in the comments section on Instagram. Katt likes me, I hope, said DeRay Davis. Katt, took me on the road and I love me, and love me, and Katt Williams, said Miss Pat. Nah, Katt has his gun out, said rapper Lil Mom. Scandal star Columbus Short even chimed in, seemingly piggying back off of Katt's claim of Cedric's allegedly shisty ways, posting a video detailing a story of how the comedian and calling him a bitch-made nigga. Though to be fair, many folks in the comments were all receptive to his tale, given the fact that he got his own self-counsel through shisty actions years ago. At any rate, with this only being the fourth day into 2024, if Katt's interview is any indication for what the rest of this year has in store, we better all duck and cover. You know who might be next. So Katt Williams going on a rampage here. Okay. And that interview had so many millions of views. I'm trying to figure out how much ScrewTube paid them for that interview. Because, ScrewTube, they have their picks of how they, who they let to, on the platform, and who they give access to the algorithm. If you are basically paying them a lot of money, then YouTube will give you access to the algorithm, you see. And that's why other platforms are good to have, because you just don't stick yourself with just one platform. So that interview was explosive. Remind you, this happened on January the 4th, around that time, or January 3rd, whatever. And this is a viral video, okay? Especially, of course, ScrewTube like this type of stuff because, they push this type of stuff because it's a black man talking about other black people. And one of the problems with this interview is that, everybody in Hollywood, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people in Hollywood are easy prey, in a sense. But there has been some black people who have turned Hollywood roles down because of a dress, like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said, I am not going to put on a dress. And he basically kept that promise, in a sense. And when he was on Oprah, as I remember, which I can't stand her, but when he was on Oprah, it was almost like he was telling one of these gatekeepers that Oprah is, because she's around all these rich white men here in Hollywood, because she's, she got billions of dollars. But he was telling them how, wait a minute, I had to turn down $50 million, right? because they wanted me to put on a dress. He reminded what John Singleton asked him to do as well. And just didn't want to do it. You know, and I think of putting on a dress, I think for white Hollywood executives and also the Jewish people, I think that's some type of sign that they want to see a black man weak and in a vulnerable position. And so those are the black men who get all of the money, the fame, like, like this Porter guy, what's his name? I forget what's his name. He basically wear dresses, in Hollywood. Yeah, that's kind of like when that happened. When that happened, that means that it's a plot in the plan or behind it. When that happened, to put on a dress and to have people, Billy Porter. Billy Porter is his name. Billy Porter loved, what Hollywood does to him. Terry Crews and all them, that's another. And Diddy is so much involved in all of this that it's really shaky to what he's done. All the rumors that's coming out about him, man. Man, it's just scary that he has all of these rumors coming out about what he did, and man, and they was like, yeah, you go to a Diddy party and stuff, you're gonna not talking about 10, you're gonna probably kiss some men, or you're gonna be having sex with men and all of that stuff, So they said that Puff Daddy parties are kind of like that, So yeah, you got to be very, very careful about Hollywood, very careful about Hollywood. And I'm going to just basically be talking around some issues here because I was supposed to start off talking about DA Fani Willis and then talk about Hollywood, Katt Williams interview, I should say. But yeah, old Fani girl is in trouble. She's over there sleeping with the lead prosecutor in the Trump case there down here in Georgia. And they got some information that, she's sleeping with another man's wife. Sleeping with a prosecutor. And so that woman wants to get a divorce from the lead prosecutor in the Trump case and had called DA Fani Willis to testify in her divorce hearing. And I told you that, you see, you can't, basically, when it comes to marriage, it is too hard for Black men specifically to just commit to one person. In fact, I told you before, we're not supposed to be in relationships with just one woman, And I know a lot of Black women don't want to hear it, but they just basically threw away their history. Black men were never in a relationship with just one woman. So it's really going to be hard for us to really just stick with one person. That's just not going to work. And, so this DA, Fani Willis, has been subpoenaed to testify, in the lead prosecutor of the Trump trial or the Trump case here in Georgia. She's been called to testify. She's been called to testify in this divorce hearing. Okay. So the wife of the prosecutor is wanting Fani Willis to come and testify there. And one of the problems with this case now is that they're going to say, well, in order to try him, y'all should bring in another prosecutor. Well, she brought in a special prosecutor, but hell, the prosecutor that she had brought in, she's sleeping with, or have slept with, So these white folks know about the dirt that you do before you do it. That's the reason why they want you to basically, run for office, because they have a black person. They know that black person, they have a lot of secrets, a lot of dirty little secrets. And those dirty little secrets are, it's basically to try to destroy you. Like what they're doing to R. Kelly. They're destroying him after he was acquitted in the 2007, 2008 or whatever trial. And they're still bringing out he's sleeping with children and all that crap. And that's because in Hollywood, they keep dirt on you. These white Jewish people, they keep dirt on you because it helps them to give them a reason for not giving you another movie deal. Okay. And so a lot of celebrities have dirty little secrets. A lot of them will come out, and they basically sleeping with, they'll come out and with, that this Hollywood actors, slept with this person. It really, that Hollywood is a place where a lot of the stuff is gonna stay hidden. Like in Hollywood, for instance, you got movie producers, who would invite you over, and hell, if you want to get that film deal, you got to do something strange for some change now. And a lot of people who want that deal, they basically, a lot of times they don't care, as long as they want that money. Now, they will later come out and try to meet to you and all that stuff, right? But they know what they were getting into, just kind of like the porn industry here. And I had read an article on 8th TV. I don't know if they ever tried to put Denzel Washington in. I don't know if they tried to put him in a dress, but there were some articles about them wanting him to be in a dress, but it never happened, as far as I can see. We know Martin Lawrence was in there one. We know Jamie Foxx wore a dress. We know Tyler Perry wore a dress. We know that Ricky Smiley wore a dress. You see. But in this article about Denzel, it says Denzel Washington revealed Hollywood's shocking secrets. Denzel Washington exposes the dark side of Hollywood, criticizing its inflated egos, manipulation, and the questionable ethics, while emphasizing the important truth heroes and the struggles they face. Now, I want to say that it goes back to the fact that Hollywood is not really wanting to cast Black American actors anymore. As we recently just saw about this Color Purple movie, they had a lot of actors from Nigeria You see, so Hollywood is trying to move black men and women who are in the industry away from being lead and to tell the stories of our black heroes and sheroes. I think that really fundamentally of what I think some Hollywood actors are coming out to do to say about that. I think Denzel basically, by him being a pioneer, to talk about the manipulation of Hollywood, if that article is true, I think that has some great points to speak out, because see, a lot of black people in Hollywood, they don't speak up for each other, and then they don't like working with people like myself, like an independent filmmaker. They don't like working with us because they want a lot of money. Of course, I understand that, but the thing about that is that when the Hollywood actors, when Hollywood actors get old, they basically start looking for new talent. You see, so that's the thing about that. But in this article, it says Denzel Washington exposed the dark side of Hollywood. Denzel emphasizes the importance of telling the truth and being informed, highlighting the responsibility of those in the entertainment industry. Denzel Washington criticized Hollywood for being disconnected from everyday struggles and hypothetical or hypocritical in their preaching of inclusivity and diversity. Okay? So there's no real diversity Denzel is talking about here. He talks about the fact then that, for example, Denzel recalls a disturbing movie role in 1986 where his character, a black man, was accused of assaulting a white woman, highlighting the unsettling and twisted nature of some Hollywood storylines, you see. Denzel's revelation shed light on the persuasive issue of whitewashing in the industry, emphasizing the importance of casting actors of color in roles that meant for them. Now we look at the fact there that, see, when you look at the color purple, remember they had these characters that Oprah Winfrey put together about black men abusing black women, and here's this faceless black woman basically staring with this abusive black man and saying, "You show this ugly," and then to make a musical about it, and then to have the black male characters play roles that really is not black man personality here. I'm not to say, no, we got our Pookie and Ray Rays around here. Pookie and Ray Ray, they always, terrible. And of course, as I explained, most of the time, these are the women who are black women pull their panties down for. But here's the problem, though. If Denzel, as a high-paying actor, is saying this, then that must mean that Hollywood is really, really in trouble. Because when you look at a person like Denzel who had made a lot of accomplishments in the industry, if he sees this and he sees the manipulations in characters, and if he's seeing how white movie studios, executives, and filmmakers are whitewashing black characters and black heroes, then it becomes a problem. You see, didn't they just say that one of Angela Bassett, one of my favorite actresses, they just say she won an Oscar here? It's it's just, wow, really? After all those years playing iconic roles, and it's like finally she wins an Oscar. Hollywood is very slow on doing things right. Not only is there so much devious things in the entertainment industry, and that they continue to say money is the root of all evils. But when you look at all of that, you will see how some of the most wicked thing goes down in Hollywood. Denzel also goes about talking about other things within the industry, not only about whitewashing our heroes and black characters and the manipulation that it does in their practicing. You see, Denzel Washington commented on the fact that philanthropy is genuine and goes beyond mere publicity stunts, as it is an action speak louder than words. So when people basically have charities, the charities are only to help to bring in more money, or I guess, when some, actors say, well, I'm adopting children from South Africa or West Africa or whatever. It really, for the most part, is a publicity stunt, and then it helps them in a way to raise money on the end of issues regarding, uh, you know, it helps them out, with other ways into which they can raise money. You see. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I think Denzel was really uh, supporting the Sound of Freedom movie, which was done by this one studio. This one studio that didn't want that Hollywood did not want to play in theaters, and so they did not want to give Sound of Freedom any kind of distribution deal or theatrical deal, because they had found that it tells a underground tale. It was really a controversial insight on some things, So it was interesting how they said that Sound of Freedom was basically exploiting certain people. Mm-hmm. So there is like a plot where after they're like it says here, and I quote, after reading about a child sex club in Thailand that was shut down, Tim decides that this is the perfect cover story to acquire a large number of Gazelle's children in a sting operation. Vampiro gets a Colombian police officer, George, and a wealthy citizen named Paulo Delgado to help with Tim's mission. Tim's supervisor, Frost, ordered Tim to return to the U.S. as he does not have the authority to conduct such an operation on foreign soil. Tim resigns in his position rather than abandoning the search for Rosia. Okay. So it almost kind of like Amazon was trying to push that that the Colombian government was have sex slaves or something, children as sex slaves, right? And it talks about the development of Tim Ballard, who did the Sound of Freedom. So it says here, Sound of Freedom was inspired by the work of Tim Ballard, the founder of Operation Underground Railroad, ROUR, an anti-trafficking nonprofit. Work on the script began in 2015. Ballard had personally requested that Jim Caviezel, if I said that right, sorry, I didn't pronounce that right. I've been tying my tongue all day here. But he wanted this Jim Caviezel to portray him because he's been impressed with Caviezel's performance as Edmond Dantes and the Count of Monte Cristo back in 2002. Caviezel has stated that he has considered Sound of Freedom's the second most important film he has ever appeared in, ranking it behind the starting role of Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ. Right? So they were saying that they basically, Angel Distribution or Angel Studios was saying that the theaters did not want to put it in or whatever, theaters or whatever, some controversy there, right? But anyway, the secrets of Hollywood, let's go back to that. That the process of sex scandals like Harvey Weinstein and a lot of these executives basically talk about the couch. And talking about the couch, they talk about how when they get you in there, they want to know how desperate you are to take a role. If you're going to basically take the role, kind of like what they do in the porn industry, bring you in, how good can you have sex and, give oral sex or whatever, Same kind of audition, but only different is they try to pick your mind a little bit before they give you these roles, you see. And not only that happened, but young children face that in Hollywood too, because they'll abuse these kids as well, because there's a lot of young homosexuality going on in Hollywood. So it's not only wickedness in the music industry, like murdering rappers and stuff like that, but it's a lot of, shenanigans going on in the entertainment business anyway, you see. And so the industry of Hollywood and music industry, it can be a very dangerous thing. It can be a very, very, very dangerous situation, because, like, for rappers in the music industry, they basically, the record companies will tell them, yeah, talk about all this, talk about all that, and before you know it, they put on a rivalry, and the rivalry happens, and before you know it, you'll have some rapper shot, and then before you know it, the label is making a lot of money, but the rapper who's basically is a victim, is shot. Now, they did have it where they had that, remember, rapper Takeoff. There's an article by the Houston Chronicles that says Takeoff among a list of 13 rappers who was tragically killed in Houston, And Houston is very dangerous as far as trying to do a concert, because there's a lot of animosity and beef there. Houston, I wouldn't basically want to do a concert if I was a rapper in Houston, And Houston is where a lot of rappers, you have to have a lot of security, and Houston is not the only one. There's also the Migos, I'm sorry, Memphis, that happened too. So, like, the Migos rapper Takeoff, when he was killing Houston, everybody was like, whoa, wait, what's going on here, So a lot of these rappers, they start flexing, they start, there's a lot of, jealousy and stuff. And the music industry is a very dangerous industry. It is really dangerous because what you have to recognize is that, like I said, there is beef. And before you know it, emotions are going to run high. So that's the reason why, uh, you know, um, you got to really, really look at the what's going on in hip hop, you know, because the music industry can be very, very, very dangerous. Like I said, the entertainment business as a whole is very, very dangerous. You know, it is really, really interesting that you know, people get set you up. Women set you up in the entertainment industry, especially the music industry. You know, and so yeah, yeah. See, Houston rapper Big Pookie, he died. Um, you know, it's just, man, a lot of rappers have been have died. But there's this one record label that people keep talking about, right? And this record label has a lot of artists that had died uh, while signed to it. You know what I'm saying? This record label, like the record label, like would go out there, like I said, start all the beefs and stuff, and tell these people, the rivalry, hey, this person was beaten or whatever. And but there's this one record label, I forget the name of it. It is a record label that when some people were signed to, I'm talking about, a lot of murders and stuff. But online, of course, as you know, people are like, well, you can conspiracy theorists and all that sort of stuff. But on YouTube, take a look at just what some of this stuff does make sense. Like on a YouTube video, there's a record labels are in the murder business. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just really um, it's crazy how the record industry are able to get away with, just allow them to have beef so they could basically kill each other over money. And it is just the profits that they want to make, and how they expose the secrets of these beefs and how they basically use them as a way to make money off of rappers who had basically lost their lives by shooting and killing each other, you see. So that is really a problem. And man, it's just like, we don't even have to talk about rappers. We can also talk about, not Malcolm, but Michael Jackson. You know, record labels are more dangerous. The music industry is more dangerous than Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah. Empire seems to have a lot of deaths on their roster. Empire Records, if you sign to Empire Records, that record label has a lot of rappers that signed to it and have been found dead over beef or whatever it is the situation. So Hollywood as itself is very dangerous. It really is. And I think one of the problems that you have to do in order to make it, I guess, in the music industry, is that you gotta basically have, you gotta, show that you're the biggest top dog and stuff, and women like that kind of stuff. They like uh oh, he's the hottest, and he's this and he's that. And I think you gotta look at the curse there. What is the industry selling you? Okay. Pop Smoke was was actually on the Empire Records, you know. And so a lot of rappers who had been on that label who had died tragically. It's kind of a lot of craziness going on. And Empire, for many reasons, is somehow connected to a lot of these beefs, because a lot of these rappers that Empire had signed, there's a top 6 of them that was signed to it. Was Young Dolph signed to? I don't know if Young Dolph was signed to him, but he's dead. Like I said, Pop Smoke is dead. I don't really get into hip hop. I used to try to rap back when I was young, but I just saw how much the hip hop industry basically kill have people beef and stuff, and then no investigation done, because the police investigations are either hindered or nobody wants you to know about what's going on. Like, so this XXX Tayshaun, he was from Empire. King Von, he was from Empire. They said Young Dolph was. Draco the Ruler, he was from there. PNB Rock. So the music industry has a history of really, this Arab guy, what's his name? Gacy Shamey. He owns Empire. And you better really, really be careful of what these artists are doing when they sign with these record labels, because they are it is a very dangerous industry. Like I said, Hollywood only wants you to put on dress. Now, it can be dangerous where they'll kill you there too, but it's not like the music industry, especially the hip hop labels, because the CEOs of the record companies, they're not trying to go broke. So they're going to make sure that their artist is broke before they go broke. See, before rapper XXX Tentacion signed before he died back in July of 2018, or around the year 2018, I should say, he signed a $10 million deal, for a new album weeks before his death in a shooting. Just $10 million, right? And a lot of Arabs that basically own some American companies like this, under Gacy Shamey's company, a lot of them, Arabs will come over here and they will have a black person killed in the industry. And just like the same thing with the Jewish people, they also will have people like, y'all remember, when before he died, before Young Dolph died in Memphis, this Gacy Shamey guy, he was really, had a contract with the Universal Music Group, right? So he was signing all these people, And if the music went on the top charts and stuff, he kept on promising all this stuff. And one of the problems that, like I said, what he would do is that he'll find out where these rival of these rappers are, and he would basically say, okay, go start beef with that person and stuff like that. Before you know it, here come guns and bullets fly. And so he's making all these money. So we have to be very careful, because not just white people or white Jewish people will kill you and stuff. The Arabs that run certain industries as well. And so this guy who founded Empire have 6 rappers that had died after or during the time that they had recorded on his label. Okay. So, a lot of black people, y'all call us conspiracy theorists, fine. But we know that, I'm not going to say that I believe in the Illuminati, but a lot of this stuff, man, you got to ask the questions, The beef helps sell records and stuff. It helps get you interviews. The white kids are buying your music, but the white man still run the industry, bottom line. So yeah, Hollywood is a very dangerous place to be in. I got to be careful myself, you know what I'm saying? And, as you start blowing up and start getting money, people are going to come after you, and that's just how it is, because they want some of that money. They want some of your bread, and you can just basically touch a woman the wrong way now, and now she's filing a sexual harassment suit. Or, you can do what Harvey Weinstein does, and that is just to bring a chick over and just to jack off in a milk carton or something. He did the most stupidest and weirdest stuff, and it caught up to him. I don't, like I said before, don't believe these accusers of R. Kelly. I don't believe none of them. So white people in the industry, like these white Jewish people, they also will say that I'll destroy your career. So for instance, they'll always have dirt on you. Okay. So just don't think that if you make it, that they don't have dirt on you. They'll basically have some dirt where they'll say, okay, I'm going to sign, just like they do politicians. I'm going to sign you this $50 million, right? And so once they sign you the $50 million, here's your $50 million, right? And then they'll find some way to back off the deal because you got some chick accusing you of sexual harassment, right? Now, the thing about this is that when they sign a deal, they already know that they're not going to sign you unless they got dirt on you, just like the politicians do. Because having dirt on you, that means that, we have no way to bring this black person down because, see, we ain't got no damn dirt on you. And see, that's why it's hard for a lot of black people who don't have dirt on them. That's why it's so hard to basically, to get a deal. Because for white folks to give you money in Hollywood, they got to have dirt on you. They really do. Or they have to be making so much money off of you that they have no choice but to, keep hiring you for a role. So in Hollywood, yes, there's have been men and women who have done some things, some stuff, some things that they have done. They wish they hadn't. They regret it. Sleeping with Hollywood producers or a producer, that you want a movie by. You want they want to help you in the industry or whatever. Yeah, that happened. If you're willing to do that, hey, you probably got your shot right there. Now, women do it too, though. Like some old ugly, old nasty looking white woman, or some fat black chick, who don't get men a lot, even though she is a Hollywood producer. If she wants to sleep with a guy that she likes, and basically want that guy to, sleep her and have sex with her. Yeah, you know, that it doesn't mean that because a woman is ugly, a dude who is trying to get into Hollywood ain't gonna, yeah, I'll bang you, if you're gonna give me a movie deal that's $10 million. So you got ugly women in Hollywood and ugly white women producers getting banged by these guys, who wouldn't sleep with them, wouldn't give them the time of day, you know, um, if they out in public, but if they're a producer, yeah, so it works both ways, you know what I'm saying? But we men, we look weak if we try to meet to women as far as producers. So we look weak, only women can meet to us, we can't meet to them. We can't go around and wait some, shit, 20 years, 40 years after, your money gone, and now you're blaming me after 20 or 40 years of sexual assault. So we can't go back and do that, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the problem. That's the issue. And so, yeah, but women does a lot of too. They like a guy. You better believe, if he wants that deal, he's that ugly, drove, nasty looking chick is gonna sleep with him because she's the producer, and that male want that role. Like I said, women do that stuff too. It was interesting though that the Family Matter actor Darius McQuarrie, he came out and said, "Well, everybody in Hollywood been touched." And what do you mean, Darius McQuarrie, that everybody in Hollywood's been touched? What does that mean? You mean that a lot of Hollywood actors have to do something strange for some change, or I mean, they slept with a producer? I mean, what are you talking about? It's been touched, What, as a child? I mean, come on, you're not elaborating. But I recently, let me pull up the article here. Okay, I remember him with that Superhead scandal. you know. So yeah. So he had that little scandal going on. So yeah, we have to. Yeah. So Media Takeout did an explosive interview on January 11th, 2024. And they had talked to Darius McQuarrie. Okay. Now, the former child actor Darius McQuarrie explains every man in Hollywood has been touched. Wow. Interesting that every man in Hollywood has been touched. Let's talk there about it. Katt Williams really let the cat out of the bag during his explosive Club Shay Shay video. And now Media Takeout has learned that actor Darius McQuarrie, star of the 1990s hit series Family Matters, is giving more details on the evils of Hollywood. See, that's the word I was looking for. The evils of Hollywood. Okay. In an explosive interview, Darius, who played Eddie Winslow as a child actor, explains that everyone in Hollywood, including men, have been inappropriately touched. Okay. Eddie explained, "I said this before. We all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood. It's just what it is. We have all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, whether we realize it or not." During the Katt Williams Club Shay Shay interview, Katt nearly broke the internet by saying that Hollywood men are groomed by high-level executives in Hollywood and then forced into participating in gay activities to get ahead in the business. Darius appears to be confirming what Katt said. So now these white executives, and these are white Jewish people who run most of the Hollywood studios. ScrewTube, of course, had basically took my video of the Jews running Hollywood. They took it down. Now, the thing about that is because of the Me Too movement, a lot of the stuff is coming out after years, after years, after years, after years. You say, and it's like, why are you, I mean, y'all should have brought this out before, beforehand, why wait a long time? And it goes on right here that Darius is an American actor, rapper, singer, and producer. McCrary is known for his role as Eddie Winslow, the oldest child of Carl and Harriet Winslow on the ABC or CBS television sitcom Family Matters, which ran from 1989 to 1998. He also played Scam in the 1987 comedy film Big Shot, which was his film debut. He provided the voice of Jazz in The Transformer. From December 2009 to October 2011, he portrayed photographer Malcolm Winters on the CBS daytime drama The Young and the Restless. So it's interesting that Darius McCrary has also, is he alluding that somebody in the industry touched him, And I mean, I'm trying to see what old Darius is talking about here. Trying to see what's going on with old Darius here. Yeah, okay. So we've heard about old Darius before in the industry, But yeah, the Hollywood sex scandal is worse than that. It basically, they featured that after Jeffrey Epstein, and he basically, they had this list where, he had a lot of these politicians and these Hollywood stars on his boat. And these young girls were basically where they were, giving them massages, having sex with them and stuff. And he kept a list of all of these famous people that was on that ship with them, Oh yeah, the Hollywood secrets is out there. Kevin Spacey in his homosexuality suit, of course, they made that went away because Kevin Spacey said, as I said earlier, when I did when I did a story on this, is that Kevin Spacey said, wait a minute, if y'all basically come after me, I'm going to tell everything. Okay? He's referring to the Hollywood executives there. I'm going to tell everything. Okay? Not just going to go after me and Harvey Weinstein. I'm going to tell about everything, you see. Of course, we have a list of a lot of sexual harassment suits against Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, Larry King. The list goes on and on with these Hollywood actors and filmmakers and film producers. Oliver Stone, Sylvester Stallone, Al Franken, Richard Dreyfuss, Louis C.K., John Travolta, Kevin Spacey, Tom Seymour, Charlie Sheen. The list goes on. It goes on. It goes on. It goes on. That, actors in Hollywood like Brett Ratner use their power and privileges, to get what they want, You got the money, And how many of these women, of course, have thrown themselves at Hollywood executives and producers, you see. That's another thing that you have to also look at that angle. But a lot of these white men in Hollywood are just perverts, though, And we have like this, we have that when they try to do this R. Kelly thing and try to make it seem like black men are just predators, black men are predators, that white media was not talking about the white men 70 plus white men or more who's also been accused of this, right? So the industry basically, good luck with that, man. It's like Club Shay Shay, I think not Ricky Smiley, but I think Katt Williams opened up some worms here. Man, he opened up a lot of things here, man. Somebody done did something strange for some change. He opened up a lot of things in this interview. And man, this 2024, this year and beyond, are going to be the ugly truth about Hollywood. It's going to be so much the ugly truth about who slept with who. Scandals coming out like, not wanting to pay actors and stuff like that. Monique, she warned about Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels. Now you got Taraji P. Henson talking about the same thing and how she was not paid that much for the color purple and how women of color is treated in Hollywood and stuff. So instead of just saying black women, female actress or black people in general in Hollywood, she made it out of a gender situation and stuff. Yeah, I know. Okay. But anyway, I wanted to come on to talk about the Katt Williams and the interview with what he did with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, and talked about your Hot Girls Summer Classic with the DA here and Fani Willis. Fani is giving up the panties. Oh, we're like, Fani giving up the panties. Now, you've been listening to the Lawyer Henderson podcast show. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Screw 2 have me on a permanent shadow ban. Okay? You've been listening to Lawyer Henderson podcast. Take care.